Several weeks ago, I was cleaning out some boxes in my attic, and I ran across this little yellow card. As I looked at it, it brought back a flood of memories. This card was from a leadership conference held at Sanford University in April of 2005. The keynote speaker for the occasion was Pastor Van, our pastor. Needless to say, he wowed the crowd. And as a result, God called him to a ministry here in Birmingham, TWC. As we all know, this ministry has grown tremendously. To God be the glory for the things He has done. Who would have imagined that from a leadership conference, 2016, fast forward, our pastor at TWC. We all know that life is full of trials as well as victories. And I'm sure each of you have experienced both. I know that I have. But it's always good to know that you have a church family standing beside you to be with you when you go through it. And my church has been with me through it all. As I reflect back on the love and the support that you have given me, I thank God for you. You have been there for me. I reflect back and I say I can remember the prayers, I remember the gifts, I remember the cards, I remember the fellowships, I remember the dinners. I remember so much more that I cannot even express at this time. I just want to leave you with the words from 1 Corinthians 1 and 4. I thank God for all of you, my church family.
So, I was just thinking about some of the progress that we've made. What are some of the fondest memories that you all have? Because you were here before. I mean, you guys were here from the beginning. So, Elder Drew, what would be your fondest memory in the last 10 years?
Wow. I guess it would be when we purchased our first property.
Oh, okay.
Because we actually started, of course, on the Parkway. Our first property was on the Parkway, but that was also the first property that we actually walked through.
Oh, wow.
So, of course, we were rejected, but we still trusted God.
Yeah.
You know, we believed that God would make a way. So, eventually, just going through those steps, walking through all of the properties, sitting around the table to put our information together, and finally walking in that property for the first time. That has to be one of my fondest memories. I have about 50, but we'll stop at that one.
What about you, Elder Sal?
Wow. I do share that one, but I will say the Bessemer campus. When we first started, even before then, Pelham, you know, going into the high school, and God giving past that vision that we needed to be in that area. And it blew up so quickly. And we feel that Pelham campus so quickly, but then fast forward and being able to go into the Bessemer campus, you know, God allowing us to acquire such an amazing building. And of course, I'm sure you all remember the day that we had the caravan coming from Pelham High School with the police escort. We shut the whole community down because we had traffic coming from everywhere. So, you know, it's just so good to see it now. And, you know, and where we've come from and the congregation, we've all matured through it all. The congregation has, and, you know, people have come and gone, but, you know, to look at it that day, and even before then, you know, being able to do the carnival and the picnic the day before, and people were so excited. And then on the day of, you look up and you see cars all across the bridge, and people are literally walking to get there because there was no more parking. You know, and we didn't have golf carts then, so people literally had to walk. People literally had to walk up the street to get to us. And I know that's one of the many fond memories that I have, because that painstakingly, we didn't even get our certificate of occupancy until the day before. And so we were, all this advertising had gone into it. And it was like, God, you did not bring us to this day, this far, for us not to be able to open the campus that weekend. So we had a lot of nail biting and a lot of that going on, but being able to move into that campus and start our expansion, that was just awesome. What about you, Elder Vanessa?
I think mine was here, because I can remember getting the phone call from Jeremy Norman saying, hey, you know, we have this building and you guys came to mind. I wanted to give you a call. I know you're not interested in buying anything else. I can't remember how long after Bessemer. It had been.
Bessemer was 2011, so 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. And I called Pat. And I remember this distinct silence on the phone. And, you know, and later he shared with us, you know, that he had been praying, you know, often he passed by, going between the campuses, passing by the exit, and that he was praying and asking God, you know, about this building. And the Lord answered that prayer, saying, this is for you all. And I remember the caravan.
Yes, another
caravan, because we caravan too, that it shut down the parkway. And we were literally just coming right around. And we had not shared with the people what we were going to show them, remember? We had not shared with them. We just, Pastor just shared that he had something he wanted to share with them. So they didn't even know until the caravan got here. And so I think that's one of my fondest memories of what, you know, some of the things that have happened in the last 10 years. But we are one caravan in church.
You know, and I kind of thought she had lost her mind because she had just given us funds to start renovating. You know, we had started renovating Huffman campus. We started in the youth area. And I'm thinking, okay, so we're putting money into this, and then now we're going to move. But it turned out to be the best thing.
It did, because, but isn't that just like God? When he says yes to something, he provides everything that there is, because the Finish Line campaign was one of the best yet.
That was good, because people literally stepped up and said, you know, we're willing to do a little extra for us to be able to get into that building, because everybody knew that it was for us. You know, you can tell when it's from God. And even those that I can't remember what the deadline was for the campaign, but I remember having people that did not make that deadline, that did not stop until they had finished what that pledge was for that Finish Line campaign. And we crossed the line.
And you know, sometimes, you know, we think about the good times, but you know, so much work went into preparation for all three. You know, when we purchased Parkway, there was so much around the table, planning almost every day, phone calls, and so. But you forget that when you actually get to that point and to where we are right now. You know.
Elder Vanessa says she doesn't forget it.
I don't forget
actually, but
it's
she's
still a lot of work. It's still
but you know, we were so new to it though. We had always gone into established churches or grown up in churches, and so we had never had to plant a church or start a church. And so I think, but we've learned a lot. We have learned a lot through it, all these blood, sweat, and tears of getting into these buildings.
Absolutely. That first rejection was huge.
Yeah, that was tough. That was tough. That was tough.
And but we were able to, we were able to move through it just, you know, by the fact that we've done so much work, and so we were like on to the next thing.
But when man says no, God says yes.
Says yes.
And, so that's the only yes that matters.
That's right. And here we are, and now we're ready for our next campus down in Anniston. Best is yet to come.
just want to continue talking about the power of the worship center and how it extends beyond this area. I first learned about Pastor Van and Dr. Ty as a member of Faithful Central Bible Church in Los Angeles when we learned about the people factor and got a chance to study it. And then I started studying you all.
Wow.
And realized that 10 years ago, you started this phenomenal ministry. What has been the biggest accomplishment, Dr. Ty?
I think the biggest accomplishment is just allowing and watching God grow us from just 20 families to 2 campuses, an online campus, and even a 3rd campus that we went out to another ministry. Just watching what God has done in such a short amount of time. It's been a whirlwind.
And a phenomenal one indeed. And Pastor Van, you look back and what stands out for you for those 10 years?
I think the greatest thing that stands out to me is having to always trust God. You know, when we started with absolutely nothing, coming to a city where we didn't know anybody but one man, Pastor Samuel Pettigrew, that required a lot of trust. Having no family here in Birmingham, and then God really pushing us to be a part of planning this church, that required a lot of trust. And every day has been really a journey of faith. I liken kind of our journey to Abraham's journey. When God says, leave your father's family and your home. I'm from Atlanta, my wife's from Detroit, but we moved here from South Florida. And so we've been on this journey, and every day has been just that. And the journey is rewarding. The journey is challenging, but the journey is one that requires that every single day we trust and depend on the Lord like never before.
When you look ahead, when you first started out, did you see what God would do with this ministry 10 years later?
I really didn't. I was full of hopes and expectations and dreamed big and sensed that God wanted to do something significant. But if you would have told me 10 years ago that we would be where we are, it would have been a hard pill to swallow. But that's what makes the journey of faith, I think, that rewarding. Because when we trust God, it's scary, but it's so fulfilling because the plans that God has for us are bigger and better than anything we could possibly have for ourselves. And so it's been a great 10 years. I'm excited about what the next 10 years are going to hold as well.